you talked about autonomy. Just sort of, can you elaborate on what autonomy means to you and what your specific goals for it are?
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. Someone asked me earlier today, you know, the word is sort of an auspicious kind of word. It conveys different meanings. And I think the simplest way to explain autonomy is to say that 65 institutions that are represented by 5 conferences want to have the ability to put student-athlete well-being at its core and at its focus, and to use that as philosophy as the foundation for the enactment of legislation, rather than having the institutions, various institutions' self-interest at the core. So I think that's I mean, that's a very good question, and it's one that I really appreciate the opportunity to answer, because the focus is not on us having autonomy. The focus is on our ability to enact legislation that has student-athlete, well-being and student-athlete interest at its core.
Mike, over here. The conference has been so progressive under your term in terms and on so many levels, and yet from a conference scheduling perspective, we see the other conferences moving ahead to 9 games, 10 games. When can we expect, and we add teams, when can we expect to see the conference expand from 8 games to 9?
Well, first of all, I don't agree with how you characterized it. I don't consider playing 9 games moving ahead. It's playing 9 games. You know, there's no inherent advantage that makes anybody better because they play 9 games. I think what we do, what I think about, and there are different points of view, and I appreciate yours, which is different than mine. We, in effect, think about schedule strength in terms of 12 games. 2/3 of your strength of schedule are your conference games. So we believe, with the depth and strength of our league, that we have a unique strength of schedule for 2/3 of our schedule. Now, what about the other third, right? Or it depends, third or whatever number you want. We said, okay, we've got 4 schools already playing 9 games. Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Clemson, South Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky. All right, well, now we're going to make sure that the rest of our league play, for lack of a better term, 9 games. So we play 9 games. And I said today that our teams are playing Notre Dame, Michigan, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Kansas State. I listed a whole bunch of them. That's just some of them. So if you're going to measure our league by the number of games we play 9 games.
Commissioner, back here in the peanut gallery.
Yes, sir. I got it.
I'm afraid that you may have heard a variety of questions on this before, but your thoughts on the progress of getting the SEC network seen across the gamut.
Yeah, good question. I have been asked that by my neighbors and by a lot of other people who aren't in this room. First and foremost, with ATT Uverse, and this is a point to be emphasized, with ATT Uverse and with Dish, the SEC network is available to everyone. The SEC network right now is available to everyone. Now, that would mean that for some who don't have ATT Uverse or Dish, you would have to change providers. For those of you who would prefer not to change providers, but of course you will by the time we launch, we are in serious conversations with most all providers, and I can assure you that there isn't anybody in this room who has a provider we're not in serious conversation with.